I'm gonna do the Finally Fall book tag. I was tagged by OhSheReads of OhSheReads. I'm not sure who the original creator of this tag is. They seem to have privated the original video for this, so I don't know who it is really. Number one, name a book with a vivid setting. For me, Battle Royale was a book with. Was it this? No. No. For me, Shadow and Bone had a really amazing setting. Like, I loved the setting for Shadow and Bone. I loved how vivid it came across in this book, in the writing. I think that was the thing about reading this book. I think the world building was the thing that kept me intrigued, and that was the thing that really blew my mind about this book. Not necessarily the story or the characters, but the world building. I thought this was really great world building. It was beautiful, especially the library. Oh my gosh, that library was everything to me. Like, oh, it's got like a skylight and it looks up. I tell you, this book, amazing world building. It was vivid. Name a book that is beautifully written but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. To me, The Kite Runner is a heartbreak. Like, this story is very heartbreaking, but I can't even think of the correct words to say that, like, happen. But it's a lot of kind of a few heavy things that happen in this book, but it's also very well written and it's very engaging. And it's still very beautiful, not just in its writing, but in the story, its outcome. Moments going through the story are really like very heartwarming and beautiful. It's a beautifully written book that deals with some heavy things at times. Share a nonfiction book that taught you something new. The Will to Change, Man, Masculinity, and Love by Bell Hooks. It was like a 101 for me into feminism. I felt like I understood, I learned a lot about feminism through this book. And on a very 101 level, like on a this like you don't really know that much about feminism, so you kind of like just coming in understanding it, and it's very accessible, and not everything you will necessarily agree with, but it gave me a lot of understanding about things that I may not have understood about my own life, about society around me, in inequality within society. So it was a really great, I learned quite a few things through this book, and got a lot of revelations for my own self. Number four, name a fictional family, household, or group of friends you'd like to hang out with. There hasn't been any fictional family or friend group or household that I wanted to be friends with or hang out with or be a part of. Like, I can't think of any. Maybe I haven't read that book yet that would make me be like, I want to be friends with these people or hang out with them. I can't think of anybody. The only person I could think of is Deidre in Kings, Queens, and In-Betweens, because I thought her character was just so interesting, so cool. I would not mind hanging out with her. I don't necessarily need to be best friends with her, but I just love her. I just love how cool she is and how open-hearted she is. I just love that she's fabulous with her braids and her bodycon dresses and her heels. Like, I'm loving her. I think she's cool. I can imagine her skin is just so smooth and silky and just like, come on, sis, do your thing, mama. She is living her best life, she's smart, she's an accountant, and she's working for herself, handling her business, but just out here enjoying her life. And that's like, I would love to hang out with somebody that cool and that much living their lives and enjoying their lives. But beyond that, I think I have not read a book where there's like any friend groups that I want to join or households that I want to be a part of. Nothing I could think of. Number five, showcase a pile of fall colored spines. This is what I decided on. Share a book where someone is telling a story. More Happy Than Not is the protagonist telling his story. But if we're kind of thinking of like a character within the book who is telling a story in the book, I would have to go with The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, because the narrator is a part of the book, but he's also telling the story, or they are telling the story. I have to reread this though. Oh, It's so long though, but it's also not that hard to read because it's short chapters. And I appreciate it for having short chapters and being so long. Number 7, share a dark, creepy read. I would have to say Battle Royale is a dark, creepy read for me. Is something about the tone of how this book is written. If you were watching this as a movie, like, because it's very vivid and very detailed how this book is written. Like, if you read this, you could almost see it as a movie, and in the movie, the cinematography would be very, like, like this overcast grayness, just to show how bleak and how dark and how creepy and how just like on edge this story is. This book, I will definitely say, is a very dark and creepy-ish read. It's intense. I will also say that Infidel is another kind of creepy and dark read, because it very much is. It's very creepy, it's dark, it's ugh. The artwork is creepy and kind of dark too. It's very much that. Number 8, name a short, heartwarming read. Oh, for me, The New World is a very heartwarming story. It has a beautiful, heartwarming ending, and it's pretty short because it's a graphic novel with like really beautiful, interesting art. I love the art. It's so beautiful. It is definitely I find it very heartwarming. It's very beautiful. It's a great, short, heartwarming read. Name an old favorite you'd like to return to. I would love to return to The Enchanted Wood by Enid Blyton, although I know Enid Blyton is a problematic author. I'm making no excuses for her because I think she's also kind of a product of her time, but also I do believe she is a raging, xenophobic, racist woman, but I did read The Enchanted Wood when I was a child, and I didn't know anything about that, about racism, xenophobia, sexism, and all that. In like as much as I do know now, when I compared to when I read it, and I did love that story. I love that it kind of helped expand my imagination, really make me see possibilities beyond what I knew. So I'm looking forward to reading that old favorite and seeing what it's like now. Another old favorite I wouldn't mind getting back into is The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier. Although I did reread it recently, I am willing to reread it again soon because it's a classic and I love it, and it's really well written and it's a great story. Number 10, share your favorite cozy reading accessories. I don't really have any cozy reading accessories. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe my like my bookmark. Like that's the main accessory that I have for reading, cozy reading. So mainly my bookmark. That's it. Ain't really much else. Maybe a blanket or I don't know. I don't really cozy read like that. I need to get more in the habit of that, but that's also scheduling like an hour, maybe a half hour, 10 minutes tops at least of reading. So that's all the cozy accessories that I have. I'm out this bitch like Fleek.